interrupting us or making any distracting noise out there?
We're good, Jen.
Okay. Okay, so first I'm just going to ask you to tell me your name.
Sarah Pons.
Okay, thank you for coming, Sarah. And how long have you been a client of United Services?
Since last year.
Okay. And tell me where you live. What
I
town?
live in Moosup, Connecticut.
And Sarah, how did you get here to this interview today?
The staff at Milner House, which is a group home, that is part of United Services.
And do you come to this building for other services?
Yes, I do.
Okay. So tell me what it's like normally for you to have to get to this building if you have an appointment.
I normally have to call Logistic Care, which could take anywhere from 3 to 15 minutes on hold, which is very daunting. Sometimes it takes even longer. And then they ask me my name, my address, my client ID number, and they ask the time and date of my appointment and who I'm seeing, their phone number, and whether I'm traveling alone or with somebody else. And then they ask when I want my return ride.
Okay. And so that's usually, Logistic Care is usually the way that they get, you're eligible for a med cab, and you can usually use that service to get to a medical appointment.
Yes.
So do you have challenges with that type of transportation?
Sometimes.
Any particular challenges that you want to talk about here?
The biggest challenge that I have is sometimes the drivers run late, even with the service that I use, which is Putnam Taxi. So, and when they run late, normally the drivers call me and tell me they're running late, or the general manager will say, hey, my driver's running late, I'll come and pick you up.
Wow. So that's not something that I mean, that's sort of going above and beyond, right?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm very pleased with Putnam Taxi.
Good.
But when it comes to MedX, because sometimes they bounce me back to MedX, you're squished 5 to a car, or 4 to a car with 1 person in front and 3 others in the back. Their cars are not in very good shape. They're often speeding or texting, or they're also on the phone with personal phone calls not related to work. They're also trying to... I forgot what I was going to say.
That's okay. Well, so it sounds like the quality of service you get with a med cab is different depending on which company is providing the ride.
Yeah.
Okay. So when you are with a company that is not providing the best service, what is that like for you? I mean, is it more stressful? Do you worry more? Do you feel anxious?
I do feel a little bit anxious when I'm not with a good quality provider. Only because they do not have safety as their primary concern.
Okay, so what do you think needs to be done to make sure that all MedCab providers are providing the same type of service across the board?
Make sure that their cars are in the best condition that they can be, and make sure that the drivers aren't always on the phone or texting. If they have to take a phone call, make sure they have an earpiece in, maybe additional trainings. Maybe trying to get additional safety concerns underway. Like instead of speeding or trying to get as many people in the car as possible, just take care of the 1 or 2 people that are in the car to their appointment as quickly as possible, rather than trying to get the maximum to their appointments quicker.
So, do you know how to make a complaint if the service isn't good? Has anyone ever explained that to you?
Mm-mm.
Okay. All right, you were telling me some really good stuff in the other room about what it was like to use the bus in Norwich when you were trying to work in various places. You talked about